We all know the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale. It was read to us from beautiful little books with little golden edges. It was in our cartoons and our lullabies. Our parents protected us by twisting the tale to always have a happy ending. Little Red would always get away from the big bad wolf. But after nearly 50 years, many locals have forgotten that Springfield, Missouri has its own dreadful Little Red Riding Hood story. Unfortunately, this one did not have a happy ending. Shirley Jane Rose was a beautiful little red-headed 9-year-old. She had to walk 4 blocks home from her grandma's house on Friday, October 17, 1975. It was a path that she had walked hundreds of times before. Besides, Springfield was a safe town. She didn't know anything about the evils of the drug trade or that a big bad wolf would snatch her on the way home. Witnesses saw the child talking to a man in a blue car and thought nothing of it. Shirley's body would be found 2 months later buried in a shallow grave by McDaniel Lake. This time, the big bad wolf had gotten Little Red Riding Hood. And after nearly 50 years, there's still no justice and the case is unsolved. This family still doesn't have answers. What happened to Little Red Riding Hood that day in 1975? This episode is brought to you by... Behind every true crime story is a shattered life. I have raised awareness for over 300 cases and have worked directly with the family members on many of them. This book highlights 40 case files. Some of them are famous, many of them are obscure. There's missing persons cases, unsolved homicides, serial killers, and more. Check out Shattered today to learn more.
Hi guys, Zenova here with another cold case for you. I have blogged about this case recently and thought I would upload it and share it with you, my YouTube fans. One moment here while I get it pulled up on my phone. There we go. I labeled this the Little Red Riding Hood murder because of this beautiful little redhead and the fact that she was coming home from her grandmother's house. So there was a lot of parallels to the story. So that is what I chose to title this. It's actually the story of Shirley Jane Rose, and it's a very sad case, and I was going to share it with you today. But for those of you that don't know who I am Southwest Missouri's #1 true crime writer. I work as a victims advocate with Missouri Missing Organization. I highlight obscure cold cases on my blog. I try to work directly with the victims' family members because I feel like sometimes they feel forgotten when the mainstream media has given up on their story. And so I try to do the cases that you may not hear of on regular news channels. So I've gotten my potential viewership for this blog up to 500,000. And I feel if we can keep pulling those numbers, we will start solving some of these cases. So afterwards, after the show, I ask you to please check out my blog, sign up for my newsletter, and make sure and like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All that stuff really helps me. And if you can help me, I can help more people, and that's my goal. So let's get right into this case. It is Shirley Jane Rose. She was a 9-year-old child. I will post a photo of her at the end of the video. And this case happened nearly 44 years ago. It was October 17th, 1975. It was a Friday evening. Now, Shirley had lived in this town of Springfield, Missouri. Now, at the time in 1975, especially in this area, it was considered a safe place. And she only lived like 3 or 4 blocks from her grandmother's house. So she would literally just walk to grandma's and walk back. And there was never any issue. issues. This was a small local community and within Springfield city limits, and it was, a safe place considered as such. So 1975, she was walking home from her grandmother's house, but what she didn't realize is while this was normally a safe area, she was spotted by a predator. And this person, some of the witnesses saw the child walking home, and they also saw at one point she was talking to a male in a blue car. Now, they describe this car, there's varying accounts. Of course, I'm not very good at telling you what the make and model is of a car, so I don't find this unusual. One said that it was either a 69 or a 70 Chevy. The other said it was a 72 Ford Torino. But neither one of these stories could be verified. And then another witness came forward saying that they saw her closer to her home. So it led investigators to wonder if this person drove off and then came back for her, or if the timelines of the witnesses are a little skewed. So we are not sure. In this case, the vehicle was never discovered, and none of that could be verified for sure. So the bad thing is even though despite a massive search from Springfield residents, the child was not found. And 2 months later, they found her in a shallow grave by McDaniel Lake. Now, this was, if that's not a terrifying story for every parent, a strange twist happened. So it was in 1975 when this little girl was abducted. In 1982, a judge came forward claiming that a client gave him some information on this case back when he was just an attorney, and swore the judge to secrecy, swore the attorney at the time to secrecy until this person's demise. Now, this person was on his or her deathbed at the time and wanted this information to come out after they passed away. It is unclear if this person was actually the murderer. I tend to think it was not, because this person seemed to be afraid to give the actual name of the person that did this. It makes me think that it was someone that was afraid for their life or the safety of their family, and so they wanted to make sure this came out, but they were afraid to do it while they were still around. So I'm not sure. But this judge wrote an open letter to the local paper, and described in detail how the child was stolen. The perpetrator, supposedly was wanting to trade her for drugs. But then Springfield residents banded together and created such a massive search effort just automatically. These good-hearted people came together to try to help, and it made the killer nervous and was afraid to get caught. So he took this poor child out and dug her grave in front of her and told her it was for her, and then killed her and left her there. And so the judge, in a fury, threatened the killer with a gas chamber and said that he would be there to watch as the killer was strapped into the chair. Now, that's all dramatic, and I can understand the judge's. I can understand his fury about this kind of thing. As a parent, I would probably say that and maybe worse, but it didn't. This public letter was created in hopes that someone would come forward. Now, I'm sure the killer probably wouldn't come forward, but someone that knew the killer would come forward. And unfortunately, that was 37 years ago, and nobody in the town of Springfield has came forward. And so I bring this case to you in hopes that you can spread it for me. And if we can get this case out and get enough people talking about it, perhaps we can pressure that one witness to come forward. And then also, a lot of times witnesses don't realize the little bit of information they know is important. So a lot of times it's not out of animosity that these people don't come forward. A lot of times it's not even out of fear for their safeties. A lot of times they just know such a minute detail that they don't realize it's important. So let's give that person, that one person that still lives in the area, let's give that one person the courage to come forward. And so share this for me, please. And then make sure you get on my Facebook page, on my website. Sign up for my true crime blog newsletter. I get that out once a week. And maybe together we can reach 1 million people, and we can start solving some of these cases. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you online. Bye-bye.
Today's episode is brought to you by Bones Coffee Company. You can forget about boring coffee when you drink Bones Coffee. Not only do they offer a variety of flavors such as strawberry cheesecake and maple bacon, they are a family-owned company that puts great detail not only in their coffee, but in the artwork that comes on each individual bag. Bones Coffee has a coffee club that will deliver your favorite coffee to your door every month. If that wasn't enough, they also have some amazing swag to offer. Check out Bones Coffee Company today. I'll have my affiliate links in the show notes for you.